What's up everyone? I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and today I've got the brand new, just released SetPower RV45D. This is a 45 quart, 43 liters, I think. I'm not very good with that math, but I think 43 liters, so 45 quarts, dual zone fridge. And if you saw my previous video on the SetPower RV45S, I really like that fridge. Came in at a great price point. It was the great size. And when SetPower reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in checking out the brand new 45D, I had to jump at it because, to my knowledge, there's not another 45 quart fridge that's a dual zone, which means you can run one compartment as a fridge and one compartment as a freezer, which in this size, I think is pretty awesome, because previously to get a true dual zone, you had to get up into the 65 liter and above category. There weren't a whole lot there. I know a couple companies that make like a 20 liter dual zone, but to get this real usable size, you had to get, a much bigger fridge. And I've got flies buzzing around. It's summertime in Arkansas, and it happens. Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's only indoor event for adventure travel enthusiasts. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have the passion and knowledge to ensure that your next outdoor experience is more than a camping trip, it's an adventure. And the Big Iron Overland Rally, a 3-day weekend campout and concert experience at the Big Brutus Historic Landmark. So I've been testing this fridge for the last few weeks, and I am crazy impressed with it. What I love most about this is how it does the dual zone, because it gives you options. It has this divider in here that's insulated, and when the divider is in, it functions as a true dual zone. You get two different temperatures, two different settings for each zone, and you can do one, it doesn't matter which zone you do is which. You can do this is the freezer and this is the fridge, or this is the freezer and this is the fridge. It doesn't matter, you can pick. But I tested this with frozen water bottle, some ground beef, some corn, and a couple other frozen things in here for about a week, and had it set to 0 degrees, and it did great. And the things that were in this compartment were unfrozen water, orange juice, and some other things, jellies, mayonnaise, ketchup, that sort of thing. And it did not freeze. So I had it set to 34 degrees. So very impressed by this. And when you take it out, you get a single zone fridge, and only one controls the whole thing. And so now you have 45 quarts of usable space as a fridge. It also comes with this handy dandy little divider, which for me, when I'm out, I keep 2-liter bottles of water. I keep 2 of them in my fridge for my drinking water. That way, because I like cold water, I keep 2 2-liter bottles of water in here. And which, if you don't have these type of little dividers, those will flop around, and it gets to be a little bit annoying. But this one is great. You can put it on this side, you can put it on this side, and keep that stuff contained. And I really like that. On the front, you've got your 2 controls. I've had this open, but you've got this control for this back zone here. You've got this control for this zone that's over the compressor, and you can control them independently. You've got max and eco cooling mode. So if you're plugged into an outlet, put it in max. It cools down really fast. If you're gonna throw it in the back of your vehicle, running it off 12 volt, switch it over to eco mode, because it really saves power on the compressor usage and does really well. The temperature controls are completely independent. If you take this out, that one goes away. Now your whole fridge is controlled by this. And if you just need, 2 fridges with 2 different temperatures, you can turn this one, up to, maybe you want this one at 30 degrees to keep water nice and cold, and you want this one maybe set at, you want this one set at, 36 degrees for all your other stuff. It's totally customizable how you can do it. And I love that. Construction of it is your typical ABS plastic. It looks very nice. It seems very well built. The handles are spring loaded and seem very solid. I like that. The lid can be opened this way. You can take it out. You can flip it around if you want it to open that way. And obviously you can take it completely off. There's metal reinforcements here for the lid. And it seems very solid. It seals well. It's got gaskets all the way around. And honestly, so far I can't find anything to not like about this fridge. The price is very nice, $429 from SetPower's website. We have a coupon code. If you put in Ozark Overland, it'll get you 12% off. So pretty good savings there. In the box, you obviously get the fridge, you get a 12-volt cord to plug this into a vehicle or a power station, and then you get an adapter so you can plug that into a wall as well. And you get a pretty nice user manual that goes into great detail about how it works. It gives you a list of error codes so that if you do get an error on this, you can diagnose what the problem might be. And as with just about every other fridge on the market, it does have voltage protection that you can go into the settings and set it to high, medium, and low voltage protection. So depending on the type of battery that you're using and what you want that voltage protection to be for your vehicle, you can set it at that, and that way you can be safe and not worry about this draining your starter battery if that's what you're plugging this into, and have issues with that. Now with every fridge I've done, I plug this into a power station to see just how long it will run, just kind of as a general use case, as a benchmark. For this one, I plugged it into the Bluetti EB70 and tested it 3 different ways. One as a freezer and a fridge, and I had the freezer set at 0 degrees and the fridge set to 34 degrees. The other one, I had it at 10 degrees just to see if it made that big of a difference, and still at 34 degrees. And then I tested it as a single zone, just set at 34 degrees to see how long. On a fridge like a Dometic CFX 55, a 55-liter fridge, single zone, you can get 2.5 days or so out of it on the Bluetti EB70. So, kind of as a baseline, Dometic's a big name brand, high dollar fridge, and just kind of compare it to. I will say that if you were using any fridge as a freezer, be it single zone set as a freezer or a dual zone with 1 compartment set to freeze, they use a ton of power to freeze. So unless you have a big portable power station like a Bluetti EB70, a Jackery 1000, something of that size, or maybe a dual battery in your vehicle that you can isolate and run it off of, I don't know that I would go dual zone very much. If I'm going to be camped for more than a day and not starting my vehicle or charging my power station, if I'm going to be camped for multiple days, I'm going to want something beefy that has the ability to recharge it with solar, or if I'm in my vehicle on the move, the ability to recharge it with a 12-volt plugged into it, because as a freezer they use a ton of power. So this one set at 0 and 34, it ran for 20 hours and 32 minutes on the Bluetti EB70. So didn't even get a full day out of it. Now, that's going to take care of you out of your rig, set up overnight at a campsite, and then on the move, you'll be able to keep your ice cream, your popsicles, whatever you've got frozen over here will be able to stay frozen. So that's not bad, but that's why you need the ability to definitely recharge it the next day in preparation for the next night. So just to see how much more I could get with the fridge freezer dual zone combo, setting this one to 10 degrees and keeping this at 34, got a little over 24 hours with that. So if you don't need really hard ice cream, you can go with more of a soft serve type of deal. Then just bumping that up 10 degrees does help, a little over 24 hours. And then as a single zone, taking that middle divider out and just using it as one, as one cooled fridge, this thing came in at a whopping 86 hours and 44 minutes. So well over 3.5 days running off of a Bluetti EB70. That's fantastic. So if you're going, out off the grid and going to be camped for a couple days, you can know that as a single zone, this thing's very efficient and is going to run for a while before your power source needs to be recharged. So crazy excited about that as just a single zone. But the fridge freezer thing, the freezer takes a lot of energy. And that's true. I've tested 2 other dual zones that were much larger than this, and the same was true with them too. And it takes a lot of power to run the freezer compartment. So just know that going into it, and know your expectations. But I think this thing performed very well compared to others that I've tried, and that single zone did incredibly well. So props to that. So the SetPower RV45D, do I love it? I do. And here's what's about to happen. I am headed out in just a couple days to go back to Moab, Utah. Just got back from there 2 weeks ago in the Grand Cherokee, but this time we're taking Sully, the Gladiator Rubicon, and we're running the hardest trails there are. I have a fridge slide in the back of the Gladiator, and I'm gonna take this with me. So we'll be out, we're not camping, we've got an Airbnb for this trip, we're going bougie. But I'm going to take this, so it's going to be highs in the hundreds in Moab, and I'm going to take this with me. We're just going to keep it for lunch meat, for lunches on the trail, water bottles, that sort of thing. And I'm going to take this and see how it does. So in that video later, I'll let you know. But I'm going to take this with me to Moab and see how this does during the day, 100-degree heat. I'm just going to be running it off the starter battery. But yeah, this is going with me to Moab, and in those videos, I will update you on how well it did. But crazy excited about it. I think this thing looks great. It's a great size. If you don't need a big whopping dual zone, but still want the ability to take frozen things with you, and the flexibility to make it a single zone, I think that's fantastic. So I really like this. Use that coupon code Ozark Overland to get 12% off. And let me know in the comments what you think. This is, I haven't seen another one on the market like this, and really impressed by it. So thanks so much for watching. If you would like the video, if you actually did, subscribe to the channel. I've got more reviews of some great gear, more power stations. I've got another fridge that I'm going to be reviewing in the future. Bluetti has sent me some really cool stuff that I'm going to be reviewing, and even doing a giveaway. So be on the lookout for that. So be sure and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I upload new stuff. And I've got a lot of other great adventure videos coming out with taking this to Moab, running the hardest trails there are. I've got our recent trip to Hot Springs Off-Road Park, running the harder trails there, kind of prepping for Moab. And then we've got some other great adventures coming up this summer. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.